negatively before the magistrate was informed as to the facts of the case. And after finding out the facts of the case, I think the magistrate should have been adult enough to have properly apologized to Quint. You see, it is easier for us to be negative with people than to apologize our wrongs for our wrongs. That's number one. Number two.
I don't think
Yes.
our court system is mature enough to apologize. I think the court system just feels that it has sway to do whatever it wishes, you know.
I agree with you.
And most of those magistrates tend to, because they know that a lot of us as men, we come in and we want things to get over as quickly as possible. A lot of us go in and we take unnecessary abuse. We take the kind of abuse that some of us don't deserve, but hey, we don't want to rile up the court. I remember I had an instance with the court, and because the magistrate was lenient enough, he stopped the bailiff because the bailiff was ready to come and handcuff me, and it was something to do with child support again, But the magistrate stopped him. So yeah, I mean, but look at the irony of it. I'm coming down today. Again, I hear horn blow. That's my second son. So fathers, stick with your children. You know what I mean? My determination was that if and when the women in my life finish with me, okay, go on with your life. But that doesn't have anything to do with me and my children. You understand? And I think that is one of the things that really irritated them. My thing is, if you make a decision, I'm going to live with it, no matter how it hurts, and I'm going to go on.
Yes, and yes, I fully understand that. And I must say though, I mean, women have suffered a lot of abuse at the hand of men, eh?
Yeah, I've
and
said that.
And children as well. But nevertheless, there are those who lie, including both women and children, and we should not just automatically give the benefit of the doubt to the woman or to children because women and children have suffered a lot. You still need to get to know the facts of the case before we reach to judgments, because really and truly a person is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, no matter what, unless that person have done things to corrupt justice. Unless the person have done things to corrupt justice or hinder justice, which then, if that is done, then I think the person is guilty until proven innocent. But until such, a person is innocent until proven guilty. Now, even if the accusation comes from a woman or a child. Now, concerning what the Prime Minister said, and I do not know the amount today for child support. I do not know of that, so sorry I can't answer that question. But concerning what the Prime Minister said, I would just like to let people know, remind them again what the Bible says, that having sex outside of marriage is wrong. And the Bible says no fornicator or adulterer can enter into the kingdom of heaven. And when people get children, it ought to be in holy matrimony with Christian parents, and they should be bringing them up in the fear and discipline of the Lord God Almighty Jesus Christ. To fail to do that is to fail very terribly your children, no matter even if they come up to be the highest respected members in society. And I would also like to say, in light of what the Prime Minister said, that people make sure you are first Christians, serious Christians, and after that, if you're going to look for a partner, and in these days you have to say of the opposite sex, in these days.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even have to say it, but you have to say it these days.
You have to say it. I agree with you.
Yeah, if you're going to look a partner of the opposite sex, also make sure the partner along with you is a very serious, have a track record that indicates that they are very serious Christian as well, so that y'all can have a lifelong, godly, blessed Christian marriage. Now, lastly, I would like to say, concerning something Quint had said yesterday, and I'm going to say quite the opposite. Of course, I take the opposite. It was to do with the Bible. The Bible would never change because, as the Bible says, it is forever settled in heaven. It is forever settled in heaven. So it will never change. What happened is that we have copies of the original, and we can, just with a few comparisons, what the original says can be reconstructed based upon the copies that we have, and that is how translations are made, based upon what the original says, via the copies of the original that we have. And so because of that, the original will never change, so therefore, faithful translations to the original would never be changed. And this is what biblical Christianity is based upon, what was originally written. And we have it via the copies of the original that we have today. So 1,000,000 years from now, trillion, billion years from now, the Bible, faithful translations to the original will never change because the copies will never change. The Bible says it is forever settled in heaven, and so it will not change. And also I would like to say, the Bible says concerning the saints, God's chosen ones, we are a chosen race, people, a holy nation, a priesthood, and a possession of God. And so the Bible does speak of a certain set of people, specifically his church, his saints, and his chosen elect ones, which they are, as a chosen race, a people for God possession, a holy nation of priests. That is not in reference to everybody. Only those people, only his saints, his elect ones, only his chosen ones only. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Gart.
Okay, let's take a bit of a commercial break and we'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
What are you doing? She said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to Cause we active living we life. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. Oh, Miss Lady. Anyway, you see we building up our vibes. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. Why?
Just about 21 minutes after the hour of 8, and we are back on Island T. And I had something here from Dominica that I wanted to play, so let me pull it up quickly.
Got accustomed to the transactional nature of selling passports. That's how we survive in Dominica. If passport sales were to end tomorrow, we would be back at the IMF because we wouldn't be able to pay public servants. We wouldn't be able to pay teachers and police officers. We certainly wouldn't be able to continue with any of the capital projects in the country, which is all funded by the Citizenship by Investment Program. So if the government saw an opportunity, for example, and I'm speculating here, to receive a lump sum per individual that was coming into the country, it would take on a similar nature to the sale of passports, because these people are coming in presumably to become citizens of the country and be issued with passports for a fee. And that's currently what we're surviving on right now. The only difference is that the people that are sold the passports currently are not interested in coming to Dominica. They're interested in going to the United States and into Europe visa-free, which is something that those governments have clamped down on, and they're well within their right to do so. And once this passport sale business comes to a screeching halt, we have not prepared ourselves. We have not diversified our economy. We have not invested in our future to be able to mitigate against the loss of income that will derive from any disruption to the passport sale business. So Dominica is on the precipice of some very tough times, and it's not only because of the Trump administration, it's also because of our inability to prepare ourselves from the inevitable decline of the passport selling business.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself, and you've said it also, Hortensia. You said it also that, man,
We need to diversify, but I wonder what we're going to diversify to. Yes, we have.
But it's up to our governments to do that, and I've kept saying it. For instance, that recent thing where we saw this development for the arts and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the arts center.
And so those are we want ventures that would bring capital to the country, that will bring people, an influx of people. For instance, let's say that arts center, right? Depending on how big it is, and and how we work with it, you could have people coming from different islands, and different places around the world, and having shows there, and people going, there to see. For instance, a big group, perhaps that we've been seeing on the internet, they come there because they show you that there's, hold on, caller, they show you that there's going to be like a Colosseum kind of thing. So let's say they come, people are going to want to go and see them, you understand? So people will come just like for the music festival from different islands to come, and so that's a good thing. We want those kind of stuff and not everything in one basket. Go ahead, caller.
Quinton Cortensia, Glen Rising. Rising to the listeners. Guys, I would like to continue from where I left off the other day, with your permission. Let me ask you guys a question, Quinton Cortensia. Have you noticed? I'm going to the scriptures, guys. Have you noticed in the early book of Genesis, where after God gave the command to both Adam and Eve, the encounter with the other deity that was referred to as the snake. Have you guys noticed that the snake actually shared knowledge to Eve? Have you noticed that the snake shared knowledge that opened Eve and Adam's eyes? Now, all these are symbolism. But here's the thing now. The snake was cursed. Why was the snake cursed? The snake was cursed because it threatened control. Now, follow me, guys. If the snake was cursed to eat dust, why are they hunting rodents? When religion collides with basic biology. The Bible says, on your belly you shall go, and dust you shall eat all the days of your life. Genesis 3, verse 14. This verse is constantly used to explain why snakes crawl and why they're supposed to eat dust. But let's be brutally honest. Snakes don't eat dust. Snakes have never eaten dust. Snakes are obligate carnivores. Their entire digestive system is designed for flesh, not soil. They hunt rodents, birds, eggs, frogs, and small animals. Any biology textbook, wildlife documentary, or farmer can confirm this. So what exactly is this verse describing? Just give me a moment. In ancient Hebrew language and Near Eastern culture, eating dust was a symbol of defeat, humiliation, and being brought low. Even today, people say, he hit the dust, and no one imagined someone chewing sand. The verse was never zoology. It was poetry and symbolism. But when religion is taught without context, metaphor become mechanics, and suddenly animals become criminals, nature becomes sinful, and logic is told to shut up. Now let's expose the deeper contradiction. According to the story, only one serpent was involved in Eden. Yet today there are over 3,000 snake species on Earth. Now this same example here can apply to us, as in Adam being the only man sin, but sin fall to humanity through Adam's sin. Now follow me, guys. So why are all snakes crawling and are newborn snake punished before they even live? Is guilt now Is guilt now biological? Is punishment now inherent across species? If justice is divine, why is it scientifically inconsistent? Because this was never about snake anatomy. It was symbolic storytelling that later got weaponized into doctrine. And this is exactly how mental conditioning works. Once you accept that animals are punished for mythological action, then it becomes easy to accept that poverty is a curse.
Let's take it a bit further than that journey, because I don't conform to this thing that we were born in sin and iniquity. I do not.
Yeah.
I believe it
Exactly.
is because the Bible says, and we have adopted that psychologically from the time a child begins to comprehend. You've already indoctrinated that child into the concept that he was born into sin and iniquity. What would happen? What would happen if you reverse it and said you are born in a world that determines your circumstances will determine how your outcome?
But not only that, Quint, the very fact that we're using God. Now, God has become a character of unlimited power, but this same God, it took him, 6 days to form the earth? This omnipresent, omnipotent God rested on the seventh day. You see, when they use God, and we gravitate to the biblical God as the all-knowing, all-powerful, yet rested on the seventh day. But you see, here's the thing, Quint. This is what the character in the Bible. And because this God gives life, God can take life. God can choose a peculiar people to be chosen unto the biblical God. Is this the same God that creates humanity? We don't ask these questions because we were given fear. False evidence appearing real. This is deep, guys. This is deep, and this is what we were conditioned in, to be submissive, to be passive. I fear. Now let me continue this, Quint. I'm going to finish now. Once you accept that animals are punished for mythological action, then it becomes easy to accept that poverty is a curse Illness is punishment. Suffering is destiny. Oppression is God's will. This is not spirituality. This is psychological control. Our ancestors did not explain nature with fear. They observed it, they tested it, they respected natural laws. They knew biology is not morality, but empire-based religion needed obedience, not thinkers. So symbolism became literal, questions become rebellions, and fear became faith. The true spirituality is not afraid of science. Truth does not collapse under investigation. Only system of control fear critical thinking. Guys, what Journey here is doing, right? We're trying to reconnect to sacred knowledge that was once within the African community in the African continent. Europeans came across a civilization that were unknown to them. Remember, they first came as missionary, mercenaries, and then they came back with missionaries, as Africa would highlight King Leopold's letter to the African. He said, don't tell them anything about God. They know all of this before. Tell them it is easier for the camel to go through the needle's eye than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. These are psychological control. They use words and figures, and we become passive because we gave up what was once with us. And like Journey said, they imitated us, and now we are imitating them because they have polluted sacred knowledge of spirit becoming into flesh. And this was what our ancestors upheld. Because when, like I said before, when God decided to become human, it came within the African continent with the African woman, divine feminine, divine masculine. And all of this story about the woman coming from the rib of a man, guys, look at nature. Isn't everything are in pairs?
There's another caller. There's another caller.
Okay, Clint, I'll in for now and try and get back in later.
Okay. Hello, caller.
Good morning, guys. How are you guys this morning?
Yes,
Good, thanks,
we're
yourself.
fine. We're fine, and you? Yeah.
I am good. Thanks be to God. No, I promise myself I won't answer. I won't bother thinking about. I'm only responding because of something Quinn say about Quinn say he don't believe where he said that we all are born in sin.
Yes, I said
Well,
it.
right, and we know because the word of God said because our foreparents sin, that sin fell on us. But if I even look past that, right, some of us were born in sin. Literally, our mother and father were not married. When they lie down with one another, they were committing sin.
But those, again, mind you, I respect your beliefs and that kind of stuff. I don't have a problem with it, but your beliefs are not mine. My understanding is that the Bible was put together from stories that were scattered across different countries. Man decided to take those different stories, put them together, and name it the Bible. Those different stories, when they were different places, not one individual one of them was the Bible. It took some people to put them together and call it the Bible. Well, you choose to believe it. I don't have a problem. If it betters your life, good for you. But I choose not to conform to it.
Right, and that is your choice. But like I said, look past what you said at the Bible about not believing that we all were born in sin. If you look past that part, right, and you come to the natural, right? If your mother and father is not married and they lie together, ain't sin they're committing?
How do you get married?
I mean, I guess how you get married. Look, I don't subscribe to looking up in the sky and talk about marriage. Because that's the case. I could look up in the sky 100 times
So then,
and say
so
I'm married.
then,
I don't subscribe
so
to
then,
that.
so then you get married by what? You go to a church and a preacher says some words. That is it, right? And tells you to turn to the man and say, I forever take you through sickness and health. Isn't that the way it goes?
Yes.
Okay, so men decided to make that format. Whoever sat down and decided the wording and that kind of stuff, no, God came and said that. It's man who decided that.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is that when you lie down, I mean, I don't know. The Rasta men have this concept that everybody you lie with, you're married to them. I don't know. So you know what?
Not everybody. You see, you're taking it out of context. Not everybody. The Rasta man has it like this. If you see a queen and you let the queen know you love her, you're supposed to get together, and how the Rasta man have it, it's supposed to last. Okay? Unfortunately, how human beings go, for whatever reason, things don't last. Okay? But how the Rastaman has it, he's saying from the time you make that commitment, and especially after you've had sex, that is the bonding, that is the unity. That is what the Rastaman says. Even though I'm not a Rasta, I have Rasta friends.
So do Rastas actually take the oath of commitment, like before man and God? Or they just seal it with being...
They do not say, go to anyone and say, well...
Let's get married.
I now pronounce you man and wife. Well, maybe some of them, because there's some of them who are linked with the Orthodox, and there's some of them, they have different, I don't know what they do in their different denominations, but I don't even deal with them. I deal with me. And my concept is, if I see you, I don't care what you all want to believe, because I'm a realist. I live in a real world. I'm a real human being. If I see you and I'm interested in you, and we decide we are going to be together, my thing is that once we're going to be together, it should be eternal. That's my thing.
Without having a commitment?
We've made the commitment individually.
Let me be plain. Without being married?
Not your ceremonial man-made nothing.
Okay. But then,
look. This same marriage ceremonial thing is causing havoc in the world today, because the legal system has set you up to get married, and then the very legal system is set up in such a way that most of the women who decide to get divorced, and I'm being blunt, who decide to get divorced, only now we're seeing a bit of a change, would decide they want this and they want that, and the man has nothing. Now they're trying to turn it around because a lot of women are becoming wealthy. So the legal system is like when World War I and II were created. The Jews and certain very wealthy people made sure they supplied both sides with ammunitions, and they're very filthy rich. And that is what is happening. So the legal system says to the man, go and get, and the woman, go and get married. Then the legal system says they benefit from your divorce. And remember everything that you're going to go through with your divorce, a lawyer is going to get some benefit from it. You understand what I'm saying?
But we weren't supposed to divorce.
And
just
then
happened.
even when you're going to sit down to say, well, you're going to go to a counselor to reconcile, the counselor is going to be making money. Everybody makes money off. It's a commerce. I am saying, why can't two people... Look, my youngest daughter was by me last evening. She's going through a bit of her issues. When she was leaving with her boyfriend, I said to them, look, I would like to see you. They're not married. I said, they're getting along very well anyway. I said, I would like to see you all last into old age, but it depends on you all. You understand? You all have got to be prepared to go through the tough time. It's not going to be easy. When the tough time comes, tough it through. And if you can tough it through, there's going to come a time in your later years when you look back and see all of the tough things you've gone through, but you're still together. And that's the kind of relationship that is really founded. It's not to me, that's me and my belief. It's not nothing to do with this. Marriage is like today marriage is like a movie you go to. You go to this
Okay.
movie today, you
So-
change the movie tomorrow.
So let me go back to the fact that
And
the
that's
prime
men.
minister, exactly, that's bad. That the prime minister say procreate. So we're supposed to procreate without being married?
Yeah, you're married.
Hear,
Look
hear-
up in the
hear
sky.
me, hear me. You're at hello caller. There's another caller.
Hi, Quint. Good morning.
Okay, let me make this statement. Hear me. You all are taking this out of context. I am not saying you're supposed to get married and then it ends. I'm saying when I say when I say, here's my take on it. You see my daughter and her boyfriend? Here's what I want. They're together. Tough it through, right? If it is that she loses her job and he has a bit more burden to bear, tough it through. Put your heads together. If it is that he loses his job, because finances is a major thing why people break up.
I've heard that.
Okay, so if he loses his job, don't feel like, oh, all the pressure and all the... Look, my second kid's mother, when I met her, I had to kind of groom her, get her to a certain position. She had low self-esteem. She reached a position, I was the one working. Well, from the time she got a job, that's a whole different thing, you understand? And that is what I'm saying. No matter what your circumstances are in life, make that commitment that you're going to tough it through, you're going to last as a people. It's not going to be easy. But I've seen people who never went and made that, I now pronounce you man and wife, and they last forever. It can happen. But you've contaminated a relationship by saying, unless you go and you get married, it's corrupted. It's wrong. Yeah. My thing is that it's supposed to last. That's what I feel.
Okay.
You think when I got involved with my first kid mother, I wanted it to end? I didn't. You think when I got involved with my second kid's mother, I wanted it to end? I didn't. Why you think I can still count the women I've been with on one hand and leave fingers?
But Quinn, if it can, I just say last without getting married, why can't it last when you're married?
Exactly.
Because when you get married, the legal system makes you pay a consequence.
How?
What do you mean how and you know?
But you have to allow them to
exactly.
What nonsense you're telling me?
Quinn, just like how you said you would love for your daughter and hers to tough it out, we have to learn to tough it out without going to these bodies that you say basically
But you
destroy
don't.
us.
But you don't, because the legal system has made it so that, and I'm gonna stress
Plenty
again.
of our parents did not go to the legal system and they're still together.
And I'm going to stress again, and a lot of our parents didn't get married. Some got married, some didn't get married, okay? So it's a twofold thing. Here's what I'm saying. The legal system, and I'm going to be blunt, people don't like it. The legal system has somehow made women feel that they can benefit from this thing when they break up. Look at this young fellow. I would have to say he's a fool, a young... American football player. He gets in with this girl. Everybody's telling him, because she makes certain comments, and she makes comments on the internet. She says, oh, I wasn't attracted to him. I saw him and so and so and so, and she makes all kinds. Then she realizes he gets a contract. He's making millions of dollars and so forth. She's up and down with him. People is telling him, no, so and so and so, right? She's making certain comments behind his back.
But he didn't listen. We all saw that.
He didn't listen. But this is the point I'm making. So he didn't listen. So next thing you know, people realize he's going to get married, right? Even his coach, Deion Sanders, everybody know how Deion Sanders is. Braggadocious, but he had wisdom from experience. He pulled the guy aside. He said, boy, rethink this. The guys all over the internet, oh, you feel, you're jealous, I love her. They get married. No sooner than they get married, what does she do? She come on the radio about God and this and that, and she had this thing that, and she find redemption and she wants a divorce. And how much she's demanding. This is because the legal system lets her know she could do this. I hope she doesn't get you. I don't think she will, but hey.
He didn't go into it blind.
But
he didn't go into it blind. I just say
I hear that. But she went into it knowing she could benefit after a short period because of the legal system, or feeling she could benefit because of the legal system. That is my point. Anyway, Africa has been waiting for some time.
Cleo, get me winning this one today.
Africa, go ahead.
Yes, and patience is a virtue. Good morning to you, Hortensia, Queen. Good morning
Yes.
to you, Claire. Claire said something there.
Good morning, Africa.
Being someone born as by a married couple and someone born outside of a married couple, which we call outside of wedlock, doesn't have nothing to do with somebody born in sin and somebody ain't born in no sin. For the fact that every baby that is born, the soul that has been transmitted into that individual from the parents, was given that spark of light of the divine light.
Yes.
Every human being was given the spark of divine light at a moment, at the time of birth.
So why
and that divine light was from a spark of the Most High.
Go ahead, Cleo.
Why Africa? So why do we then, as the baby, take back the baby to church and offer it back to God?
Because you want to
As
do it.
we call it christening.
Because you want to do it.
Because it's the
Because
right
you've been
thing to
indoctrinated. Because you've been indoctrinated into something that tells you what Africa is trying to tell you, that the child is not contaminated, the child is not corrupted. But there are people who feel...
It could not have been that the child was corrupted because the parents wasn't married.
That's it.
Or it could not have been that the child wasn't corrupted because the parents was married.
That's it.
It could not have been that.
But
it could not have been that because you're creating a society of prejudice, discrimination.
That's it.
Against a baby that was born that way and a baby that wasn't born that way.
Yes.
You're creating all of that. You could imagine that even back in the days in slavery.
Yeah, you're a bastard and all that kind of stuff.
Some ministers would not have given the approval to black couples getting married. They wasn't going to perform that sort of ceremony. We was to turn to somebody in our community to perform that sort of
I love that point.
Yeah, but why do we always think that our people cannot do what we think other colored people can do? And that's our problem. We always look down on our color. We want to look like other people that's fairer than us, and we want to act like them. So we should have been looking in our communities all the time. Our race especially.
But what Africa is saying, in our community, we didn't have Christianity. That is the thing.
So what did we have?
No, we didn't have that sort of
ceremony. We had all kind of different things.
We had a formation, and that formation worked for us, right? But when we got into their domain, and they decided, well, you have to go to the priest to give this consent to make this what they call matrimony holy, so that when you bear children, it would be of a holy union.
Yeah.
We had our own performance, our own ceremony.
And they discarded it. They said it was sinful. They said it was pagan. And yet still Africa, almost everything they're involved in today, you see paganism in it. And they align it with Jesus Christ.
But Quint, if we don't believe the word that said we're born in sin, why do we die? Remember when God created man, he did not create man to die. Yeah. We were supposed to live forever.
I don't believe.
Sin is why death.
I don't believe that.
Sin is why death.
I do not.
Exactly.
I do not believe that we were born to live forever in one dimension.
No, okay, Quint, you're going there now.
That's it.
There are many cycles.
Yes.
Clear. When you depart this physical 60 years, 70 years, what have you, that is only one revolution, one cycle of you. Okay? You will return to think it. Otherwise, Jesus wasn't going to say that Elijah came back as John the Baptist. You see? Because when they asked Jesus, well, who gave you this approval? Before you start to speak, somebody got to come and give the enunciation that, okay, I preparing the way for this guy. So when this guy starts to speak, I already came and prepared the way. This is how he speaks. When they say, well, who is the person? Because we're expecting Elijah to come back and give you that authority to speak. He said, well, you didn't see the man down there baptizing. So that means that Elijah came back in a different cycle, and the cycle continue where the prophecy come that, okay, Jesus will speak now because Elijah don't come back. But we don't have the eyes to see that because we believe it's only one revolution, one cycle. We live to 50 years, we die, and that's it. No, that's not it.
What you're saying? Look, listen. If that's the case, then you will believe that people who say they come back as reincarnated butterfly and bird and all kind of nonsense. Listen.
No. You only reincarnate back to your You only reincarnate back to your species. Every species reincarnate back to its particular species.
Everybody don't believe that, Africa.
Well, yeah, everybody don't believe that.
Everybody don't believe that.
That just like
just like how the Hindus believe their family comes back as cows, so that's why they don't.
I lean towards what Africa says. Look, let me put all of you who are listening in a state. Every one of you as individual, don't things happen in your life? Miraculous things. These are things people don't speak about. There are things that happen in your life that you know is not of this realm. You know it's not of this realm. If I was the kind of person who drank alcohol, who smoked weed, who did drugs or so forth, if I was that kind of person, some of the things that I see and feel and go through, I would have said, well, okay, I'm hallucinating because I'm on weed, but I'm not on those things, and I'm a rational person. But yet still certain things will happen in my life that, for instance, I might be sleeping and I wake up, I know I'm awake, but I'm not seeing anything around me. But I'm in another place. And my mind is aware, and my mind is saying, where are you, right? And you see certain things happening. And next thing you know, seconds after you come out of that, and you're aware now in this realm, in this earth, in your room, and you're asking yourself, wow, what was that? People have gone through those things, but when the Christians came,
most people suppress that, Quinn.
That's what I'm saying.
Suppress that. That is out. Most people suppress that awareness, that subconscious awareness. We all experience it.
Yes, that's what we call spirituality. We have always been a spiritual people.
Some of us are souls that are returning, and some of us are souls that probably just coming on this realm for the first time.
Yes.
Those of us who have are returning will have that experience, but we suppress it. We suppress it because of dogma. Oh, it said that we're supposed to come back as butterflies. And I just explained to you what Jesus... Claire, are you not going to believe the Bible? You're not going to believe what Jesus said? Or you're going to believe what the Hindus say? Okay, you're Hindu now. So you're going to come back as a butterfly. As opposed to your master who said that here is Elijah, come back to give full approval to what I'm saying. Which one is going to be?
I never said that I don't come back as butterfly, and I don't believe in that. When I leave this body, the word of God says I am going to get a celestial body.
And we agree with that. But where would that celestial body be? In another plane, in another dimension. That's what we're saying. But Christianity...
It's going to be with the Almighty God.
In where? Heaven?
And Claire, because your mission here would have been accomplished in a certain period of time, you would be selected to come back to guide other people. Because we are people here on missions. We ain't just happenstantly come here. We're here on missions to do our own test and to pass that test and to come back and to be guided for people. Why do you think we have godmother and godfather? You see? They apply God to appear an individual in your community that is of good standing to say, well, all right, I'm going to be the protector of the child. And they call it God, mother and Godfather. But that's not blasphemy to attach God to a human being. Yeah. No, it cannot be blasphemy because the God spark is in every one of us. Yeah. We have that light that we are able to guide others through the pathway of light. So if you're going to apply God and say, oh, she's my godmother, he's my godfather, That is blasphemy.
And
No,
Cleo,
it's not,
Cleo,
because you was born with a spark of light in you.
Cleo, I want you to listen to what I'm going to say clearly. I know you. I respect you.
I'm listening.
And long ago, when I decided to move away from this Christianity thing, I made a decision. I said, look, because I've seen people who say they're Christians and they seem to be happy. I say seem to be happy because I don't live their lives. And this is the decision I made. If someone decides that Christianity is good for them, it betters their life, and because I've seen some people who live some horrible life, and since they said they're Christian, it has turned them around.
Praise the Lord.
Good for them. But that's not for me. That's not for me. But the problem is, I will accept you for who you are, but you can't accept me for who I am. Your religion says, if he's not mine, condemn him to hell, to everlasting
Not
fire.
at all. I won't
But
do
I
that.
don't do that with you. I respect, because my thing is, I don't know all the answers. I might, when we die, that's how we're going to know things. You understand? We're on a learning trend.
I accept you as you are.
Yeah,
I would just
won't
say what
condemn
thus
you.
said the Lord and leave
Okay.
it there.
Exactly.
But you're not the majority of Christians then. You know how a lot of Christians act. For instance, if you listen to Greg, not that I want to call it, but you hear how Greg speaks.
Oh boy. No, I won't condemn you,
boy,
but I would, I would encourage your daughter to get married. It's a good life.
Well, it's up to her. It's up.
Make that
It's-
dead undefiled.
It's up to her. It's up to her. And I'm not going to tell them, oh, they're defiled. You understand? I'm not, they're living their life. I'm not going to let them live their life. We want to live our life and then live people's lives. Let people live their lives. We've become judge, jury, and executioner.
No, but we would love for them to do it the right way. And I know you might say, what is the right way?
Yeah.
So the white man came on the scene, black people are always following a spiritual path. They just
That's someone speaking to us?
That's Cleo's husband.
Hold on. I'm going to let Mr. Rogers hear talking. So I'm going to let him speak.
Okay.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good
How are
day.
you?
Great. How
Yes.
you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, I sit in the car because I took my granddaughter to school, and I hear in the back and the forth, right? And I sum it up as this is a white book religion and a black book religion argument.
That's what it is.
And I say that because, and I said this before the white man went into Africa, that people have always have a spiritual part,
Yes.
right? And they always had, let's call it, arrangement between tribe. Because when you go to a tribe and you see a queen, there is an arrangement
Yes.
that gives you commitment to that responsibility
Yes.
that we call marriage
Sometimes
today,
before the child even born.
Yeah.
right? So there was always some responsibility placed on the man to pick up the tribe, to pick up that queen from that tribe,
Yes.
right? I'm only using it that way because I'm black
Yes.
and you all are black. And
Yes.
let's take the white and the black. Let's take the white and the black thing out of it for 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
The black people, Africans, have always had a spiritual road that they travel. Always.
Always.
Even if they didn't understand what it was, there's always this. In us, there's a drive to serve a God. There's
Yes.
a drive in us for that.
There is.
So why we are arguing about God, this and God, that, because we put in two books in the same space, and we're arguing over the words that the book that was written.
Come out of the
Yes. Yes.
King
Well,
James
well,
Version as
I'm
they call the
I'm
White
glad
Bible.
I'm glad you made that interjection, because again I couldn't have
Come out of the
I
White
could
Bible as they said, no one accept it.
I could not have said it better myself. So what happened is that we had, as you were expressing, we had our own ways. But when the white man came, he chose not to accept our ways. And he chose to impose his ways upon us and want us to discard our ways and accept his ways completely. And if we don't accept his ways, we are contaminated. That's the problem. It's two different books. It's two different beliefs.
But Prince, yeah, but we let's turn the book over for a minute. Every human have a drive in them. Every human have a drive to follow something spiritual. There's a yearning in us to find that God that we believe is a creator. Every human believes that. How we express it, how we come to that point is different from each other.
Well, I disagree with you on that. Not every human believes that, because if we go to the Caucasian race, a lot of them don't believe that there's a creator. That is why you have all this agnostic, you have atheism and all that kind of stuff. And people sometimes when they hear me speak, they run to conclusion that I'm an atheist. I'm not. Just as you described, I am a spiritual person stemming from my roots.
And you believe in right and wrong?
Yes.
And you know the difference between right and wrong?
That is why I changed from my ways when I was a child, and you become a man and you put away childish things.
That's
I mean,
the word of God.
you and I, we know each other. We grew up together, and when I hear you speak, I can understand why we follow a certain mindset, because we are kind of linked in certain ways. Same community, that kind of stuff. You're just maybe just a bit younger than I am, but we know each other.
Very well. Very well.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I listen to Johnny every morning, and it's like Johnny get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and he begin to write down his thoughts.
Johnny beats one.
Okay. And then he expresses his thoughts.
Journey is on a journey. Yes.
No love lost, Johnny.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, listen, have a wonderful day.
Same.
Yes, fun now. I'll call back in with something else. Can't bother with the argument over God.
Okay.
We'll understand it better by and by.
Yes, we will. Okay. Yeah, let's take a bit of a commercial break and we'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
What are you doing? She said, drink a rude boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a rude boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active, living we life. So when we drink, drinking. Rude boy. So when we drink, drinking. Rude boy. Oh, Miss Lady. Anyway, you see we building up our vibes. So when we drink, drinking. Rude boy. So when we drink, drinking. Rude boy. Why?
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
And we're back on Island T just about 6 minutes after 9. At the 10 o'clock hour, we would have in studio for today voices Mr. Douglas Galanders, and he would be discussing issues pertaining to the development at Fort Thomas. So once again, at 10 a.m., tune in to listen to what Mr. Douglas Galanders has to say, as I will repeat once again, as he discusses issues pertaining to the development at Fort Thomas. We have a caller?
Yeah.
Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Yes, Katense, it's Journey here.
Hi.
Now, when Journey speaks, Journey is not speaking from believing. Journey is speaking from knowing. Now, how do I know? I know by being reconnected. I know by remembering that my genealogy did not start 4 generations ago. I know, I speak from knowing that I was spirit before I became flesh. Now, most of us, we are speaking through blind faith. We believe. Now, when I analyze the word believe, B-L-I-E-V-E, and I leave it like that, because Quentin Cortensia, I recognize that I was interrupted. Now, you mentioned earlier, Quint, that you speak from your roots of knowing who you are, and then hence we know those who were before us, our ancestors. We know our ancestors revered cosmology and ecology, the universe and nature. Now, I think Africa said, either one of you earlier mentioned that when we went into their domain, we didn't go into their domain. They
no,
came
we didn't
into
say.
our space.
We said when they came into ours, so maybe you misunderstood.
Okay, all right, yeah. But guys, listen. This is no laughing matter with me. This is deep and this is very sacred. This is no laughing matter. Whoever want to come in with fire in their voice and call themselves Christian and feel like they're going to come to rebut, I welcome cause and effect. I am speaking from knowing, guys. I recognize the system that I was indoctrinated in as a child. I was brought up in the church just like all of us. And I've always questioned that system. I mean, when you look at the missionaries, why they have to come? Why did they have to come to my space? Even here in the Caribbean, don't we see them going around in twos, dressed in white and white T-shirts, and they always come into our space like, well, they have the benchmark on morality. And I am knowing that my ancestors...
And Journey, a lot of those who are going, not all, but a lot of those who are going around in these white shirts and so forth, they come from a background of racism, segregation, and they now have a church right in the midst of us, and I can't for the life of me understand why we are going to a church that comes out of segregation and prejudice and all that kind of stuff, and still exists today. Because if you were to go to a lot of their nominations or denominations around in the United States of America and around the globe, you will hear people in their church. There are people who come out of their church who are saying, this is what we preach and I had enough of it. Just like how you and I grew up in the church and we came out, people are coming out of their church and saying, I couldn't take this prejudice and so forth. So, but they're here.
But Quint, we need to ask ourselves this question. If you know your genealogies. I mean, Matthew chapter 1, didn't Jesus went down into his genealogy, the son of Isaac? Am I on?
Yes, you are. I thought we had another call.
I'm going to say this quickly, Quint. Your genealogies, our genealogies is more than 10, not 4, 10, 12. Our genealogies is, we are the orality of physicality in the human flesh. Now, why do we have to convert? Why do I have to become a Christian? Why do I have to become a Muslim? Don't I know that don't I have an identity? Why do I have to convert into someone else's theology? And this is what Journey is saying. They copied, mind you, Quinn, bear in mind, I've mentioned the pyramid text, the hieroglyphic of what our ancestors carved in stone as a benchmark to say this is proof. That
we have another caller.
You want me to hold? Because
no, I want you to wrap it up, because remember, second calls are not as long as the first ones.
Okay, Quinn. Yeah, but
so you could finish your point.
This, Quinn, that we have converted into Christianity. We have to know that we are Africans. We are the orality of spirituality. We are the orality of spirit becoming flesh.
Yeah.
I'll let it there.
Hello, caller.
Yes, good morning. Good morning.
Good day.
Good morning.
Yes, we are agonizing over religion and the Bible again.
Well, it seems as if though it's something we can't
move
away from, because it's linked to, we said it, politics and religion are linked into almost everything.
Yes. It's basic to human religion.
But you don't have to follow that part, though. You can go off on your own tangent.
Okay. Well, but as you said, you have to have faith in whatever works for you.
Yes.
Right? Whatever works in your life. I mean, it's the height of conceit to say that one particular religion or teaching is the.
Yes, that's the problem.
That is where the conflict usually comes in, because we will always be in conflict over the contradictions found in the Bible.
Yeah.
For instance, I mean, to assert that there is a chosen race, that's inconsistent with the version of a merciful, just, and fearing God.
Yeah.
It's more consistent with the baser instincts of man.
Yes, you're right.
Human,
yeah.
Right? Yeah, to be selfish and dominating and so on. So, there will always be that. When we were kids, we believed in Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of kids anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. And until we knew, at least until we knew better.
That's it.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right. I think it was a way of making sure that, our parents made sure that we believed in it, so that the good little boys and girls, and the end of the year, of Christmas,
and I'm glad you made that point, because even in the Christians, the Christmas Santa Claus story, you realize they're using psychology in there. He knows when you're naughty. He knows when you're nice. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So and even the built-in things. If you're naughty, you're not going to get any present.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And as we grow older, though, I think we were indoctrinated with the biblical teachings that speaks of God and creation and morals and ethics. And again, that works in the sense that it tempers what we do. Okay? There's again the reward built in of everlasting life.
Yeah.
And of course the punishment of everlasting fire.
Yeah.
If you don't behave.
And so,
I said if you don't behave.
Right. Okay. And the similarities are really, it's something to really study.
Yeah.
But like I said, it works to temper our behavior. I mean, it just tempers it. It doesn't erase it because we still have some really bad wars, savage wars, and people still do a lot of really terrible things to each other. But I say to Greg, if you think the world is going to last millions of years, that's very optimistic. With all that is happening now, okay. And you know what I fear most about what's happening today, to transition into something else. How the world is going to react to this might is right thing.
Yeah.
Okay? Because what I'm afraid of is that people, nations, are really going to revert to terrorism.
Yeah.
And cheap weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
You know, and they could be suicidal about it. They don't even have to have systems to launch it at other people.
Yeah.
Civilized nations, they can do it in their own and be suicidal and say, okay, I'm going to just go and take the enemy with me.
Yeah.
The world is such now. I mean, you see how things like COVID and so on could just spread.
Yeah. Hold a second there. Hello, caller.
Yeah, it's me again, Quint. I'm changing the subject. I was calling to ask you, what's your thoughts on Trump wanting to go into Iran now to say he defending the protesters over there? Wouldn't you say that the high heaven of hypocrisy?
Look, Trump is in some kind of panic mode because I don't know. I've been hearing more and more about this Epstein thing, and I'm hearing that he's very much steeped in it. And I don't know. People are speculating that it's a sidetrack, just as we were saying yesterday that perhaps our own prime minister was trying to take, the spotlight from here and put it there. So that's what he's trying to do, because we all know that is what these American and these superpowers tend to do. Whenever their governments or their leaders are in problem, they create a war somewhere because they know that patriotism is going to come into play and everybody's going to rally around the American flag. So that's what they're hoping. That's what he's hoping.
Yeah, but I mean, the hypocrisy is so stink, because imagine here in this country, you protest the police and tear gas you, they shoot you down.
Yeah.
ICE now is shooting down people, killing them.
Yeah.
And that is fine, but yet he wants to go over in Iraq, go talk about defend the protesters. No, they shouldn't do the protesters anything over there. Imagine that.
Yeah. You're right, because and you saw the video with the cop who shot the lady. He actually walked in front of her car. When he started speaking, you see him on the side, and next thing you don't see him, and you hear shots firing. He actually walked in front of the car, and other people from a military background are saying now that they're seeing a lot of this with a lot of the police and ICE, where they will actually walk in front of your vehicle so that they could use the excuse that you were going to run them over.
To me, it seems like they have been empowered.
Yeah.
When you look at it, they have been empowered, so it's like they don't care because they know when they don't do what they do, the president they have is going to give them right, and the media is going to let them do what they have to do, and they're just going to ask stupid questions and move on.
They have been given rights, because there was a particular governor who tried to protest, and as far as if I'm not mistaken, you not even if you're governor or whatever, you can't protest, because they will use something in whatever they have written that you're impeding what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is so true.
Yeah.
Because I think right now the man so in charge of the what do you call it, the oh God, I forget what you call it, with the stocks and whatever to decide whether he gonna hike inflation or lower inflation.
Okay.
I think right now he's either Trump is trying to get charged with some crime because I guess he won't go along with what he wants him to do. So it's like if you don't do what he wants you to do, he find a way to take that law and.
That's how he has always worked from way back, you know.
Yep.
Go back over his history and you see that's how he is. So, America, why are they feigning as if though they're surprised now that the man is acting himself? He's being himself.
But he's always been himself. That's why it shouldn't surprise anyone with anything that he does. He never lied.
The sad thing, and she has shown this over and over. We're seeing history look us in the face. The sad thing is that people would put people who are unqualified in positions of authority, and they mess up the whole world.
Because nobody that's qualified want to take or shoulder that burden, so they just put it on somebody, as we say, their puppet, and say you deal with that, and we'll just back you up from behind. And nobody knows our faces, but everybody knows yours.
Mr. McMahon, you've gone silent. What?
No, I was going to say that the apart from creating a distraction, I think Trump is emboldened by what has happened in Venezuela, because he actually mentioned it.
Yes.
When a reporter asked him what he going to do with Iran, he basically pointed to what has happened to what he did in Venezuela. You know, what he did with some other terrorists and so on that they took out. And so he's emboldened. Yes, it's a distraction as well, but he's also emboldened. And like I said, the problem is when you change the world rules-based order that we had, okay, the world order that we had, to this might is right. I mean, where does it end? Okay.
But you see, Mr. McMahon, this world order has been changed a long time ago. You and I have said it. It's just that they were more subtle with it, and now he's in your face. Because when they can come to you, for instance, let's use this thing with the refugees and that kind of stuff. They've been doing this from way back. Different things they come and they just tell you. You especially because our governments are not going the way they should go in terms of garnering capital to run their countries. So they find themselves going in front of the IMF or the World Bank. And as long as you go to those entities, they're going to put papers in front of you and say, well, if you want this loan, mind you, loans were supposed to be you get a loan and you pay back on whether there's interest or not, but not with them. Your loan that you're going to get from them is going to say you have to accept this and you have to accept and you have to do that and you have to. And our leaders,
with control.
Yeah, and our leaders sign on to them, not caring that they're putting us more deeper into these people's control.
But even with the Prime Minister, he should be made to tell the people of Sinkis why Haitians are denied, why they can't come in.
I agree.
Why exclude them? But he haven't given the people a proper reason.
But it's not us alone that's excluding them, you know. It's all of them countries. As I said before, our leader was probably the bravest one to say it
I would not give him braveness. I would not put braveness on what he said. I mean,
but
with
he
all
said
due
it,
respect,
the rest not saying it.
No, I'm not going to put braveness on
But at the end of the day, they all are cowards.
And
because then why you have to buy into this thing?
Yeah, let Mr. McMahon interject.
But the issue that, and the clip that Hortensia played from Dominica, right? I mean, it's so relevant to us.
It sums it up completely.
Yeah, I think we have become more than the other countries addicted to the CBI.
Yeah.
Right. As was said, it has made us lazy, greedy, and corrupt.
Yeah.
And though the government speaks again and again about diversification, they seem to be still hooked, still stuck on the CBI. So the SSC is just another version of that.
That's it.
And you could also argue that this thing with the refugees is a version of it too.
That's what the guy said. Because it's coming with monies, you know. It's coming with monies. And they're not looking long term. They're just looking at the monies they're getting short term. And they're not. Go ahead.
And one of the past WinFM workers, host, Tony, well, it was a public post, so I can call her name, basically asked the question, do we prefer wealthy people who want to keep to themselves and throw us some pacification money, right?
Mm-hmm.
As in the Destiny Project,
Yeah.
or to have some refugees come, couple hundred refugees come, okay, extra residents to describe them as, okay, and yes, there is pacification money as well. Okay, which do we prefer? Imagine that as a choice that we have to make.
Imagine that.
You know, nobody now talks of things that we can actually control, like, for instance, growing food, growing more food, you know, agriculture, those kinds of things that we can control that would have nothing to do with outside intervention and so on. Okay? Nobody speaks of that.
Nobody speaks of that.
Easy way out.
And the populace, a lot, not all, but a lot of the people in the population are saying things like, Carten, sir, reminded me, someone in the chat was saying, so where were you when Timothy Harris was in power and all those kind of nonsense? You understand? I mean, let's
what's the point going back there?
You understand?
It doesn't help our current situation. And when you frame the argument in terms of, well, what you want us to do? You want us not to be able to lose our visa?
Things
access
like those.
to things. When you frame it in those kinds of arguments, it gets quite a number of people. I don't know if it gets most people.
You're right.
I don't know that the majority of people in our country have visa access to the United States.
No, but but a large number of them want it.
Yes.
But Queen, they're can't afford it with the money you have to pay now to get it.
That is true, but that don't stop them from wanting it.
From wanting it. They can't spare the thought of not being able
to go to the U.S.
Go to the United States. When in fact, I mean, to be quite honest, because from city to city in the United States is pretty much the same thing. After you've visited a number of times, what is there?
This big concrete
and not
jungle.
only that, there is so much more of the world to see. I mean, Europe is a great place, I think, to lots of history and so on that you can visit. South America, you know, those I mean,
much more picturesque places.
You know, but there's that attraction that I guess because of.
Anyway,
of
we're going to have to
migration
cut now because we have the farmers here and they're going to be starting.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Yeah.
You too.
Same
Thanks for your
to you.
contribution as always.
Yeah, so we're going to break now so that the farmers can take their places.
Found the sound 99.9 FM.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
What are you doing? She said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active living we life. So when we drink,
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
And it's just about 32 minutes after the hour of 9, and with us in studio we have the farmers as we welcome them back for the New Year 2026 to Farm Report. So good morning to Flanders Times 2. Welcome back to our studios here at WinFM.
Good morning to all the listeners. Best wishes for 2026. And it's another Wednesday, it's another Farm Report. It's been a while, but we are still here. We ain't gone nowhere. Reporting from the Department of Agriculture Marketing Unit, available. We have cantaloupe available, eggplants, pumpkin, we have lettuce, carrots, yam, green banana, herbs and thyme, per order. So go out, support the farmers, and let's eat local. I'm Troy Flanders. In the studio with me is another Flanders. It's Kyle Flanders with me. So Mr. Flanders will deal with the more, let me say, technical part of it, the dollars and cents of farming. So he will break down the budget towards agriculture this morning. So, Mr. Flanders.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm happy to be back here to further the cause of the farming community so that we can all work together for a better St. Kitts and a better 2026. So the main thrust of this episode is twofold. I will be looking at the budget and how it might impact the average farmer on the ground, how they might feel that squeeze. And so let me just jump right into it. The budget for 2026, the estimates, they were released, I think something last week or week before last. You can go on Ministry of Finance website and download the budget estimates. And when I saw that budget estimate, it was like a slap in the face for agriculture, for farmers. There was a cut in the budget by some 36%. I think last time it was estimated at 33 million. This time it's 21 million. So there was a slash in the budget by some 33%. But more troubling is that there was a cut in the capital, the expected estimated capital expenditure for about 50%, from 14 million to about 7 million. And so that is very troubling, very, very disturbing. That means that there won't be any major investment in agriculture. I ain't even counting the government-run farmers in a major investment. But there will be no major investment that would directly impact our local farmers or average farmers coming 2026. That's just the sad reality of it. And if we delve even further into the budget, you realize that the agricultural support project, which is basically a pool of money that the Ministry of Finance allows the agriculture to tap into during the course of the year, just in case, certain things come up, little small programs may be in place, for example, if you want to give wires to farmers or whatever else, little things, inputs, you might take it from that pool. That was slashed drastically. Last year it was 3.4 mil, and now it's 750,000. So you know that on the ground, there'll hardly be any wiggle room for farmers this 2026.
Maybe need to repeat that.
Which one? Which part?
That line.
Yeah, man, there'll hardly be any room for farmers. Now, what I think would be the main focus of the government this year, because they are pumping some $2 million into what it renamed from the Tabasco project. Now they are calling it the SKN Nature project. where the government going to establish their own farm. They said 200 acres. And they're going to plant the peppers, continue planting the peppers, and also mix cropping. And so the reality is that they are going in direct competition with the farmers. Let me not say that because they never consulted farmers, so we don't know what they're going to plant there. Right? It could be that they might plant something farmers don't plant. I don't know. I don't believe so. I think they're going in direct competition, plant the same stuff that farmers are planting. And this basically might be the death knell for the farming community. I don't understand why there's not more of an uproar. Actually, I do understand. Because if you look at our farmers, most of them are from the farm belt, the sugarcane belt. I know what number that is, right? Number 6, number 7, so you know their politics. And so I'm just saying that we need to rise above that and face the reality that our livelihoods are being attacked by the current government. You are investing $2 million, where the this project is $5.5 million. So you want to tell me that you can't take that $2 million that we would have spent this year and invest it in our farmers? If you look at the imports, one of the biggest imported goods would be onions. Some 1.4 million also annually, onions. And the, group name again, it is my name. Mansion Group. One of the biggest planters of onions. But the problem is, they don't have a real proper drying or storage facility for onions. So could you imagine you take that $2 million and say, you know what? Let me build a drying facility. So that you, Mansion Group, as a cooperative, you work together, fill that, and you cut the import bill of onions one time.
And onion is something that we all consume.
On a daily basis.
And it could store long once dry properly.
Yeah.
Like simple things like that you would think a government would see and understand. You are talking about 500 workers on this government farm. 500 workers for 200 acres. How big your farm is, right?
About 10.
And how many workers do you have?
And the staff. I got 2.
About 2. So could you imagine 200 acres you're going to put in 500? That is what government ain't got a cause in running a business. It's the most inefficient organization out there. 500 workers for 200 acres. How does that math work? It's going to be so much diminishing returns on the farm. Man talking, banging, story, like everybody does, no work can get done. Because that's how these things work. But added to that, we are saying now, we are adding 500 new persons to the government payroll. As opposed to incentivizing ownership, revolving fund. That same 5 million, give some of the larger farmers, here, bill out this, bill out that, hire these persons. Incentivizing ownership as opposed to dependency. Like simple things like this. Many of them got to think too hard. I mean, in the government, I come to me one time. Simple things like that. But yet these guys are just killing the local farming industry. You go across the name, Kim Collins here, we see a lot of wires out there, fencing wires. Where they for? The government farm. Not for the farmers, for the government farm.
Mr. Flanders.
Go ahead.
Based on what you just outlined here, you know, we were having a difficulty with inputs from government, feed. So if the budget was, what you say was back then, last year?
Yeah, 33 million. It was a 19 for recurring and 14 for capital.
And we had a shortfall. Government couldn't make up to buy feed, chemicals, and other inputs. So you cut. That's what you're telling me? So you're telling me that what we went through 2025,
it's going to get worse.
And the horizon look like it's going to be much worse in 2026?
More than likely.
And I could have envisioned that, you know. That is why whenever I hear the Minister of Agriculture speak, I cringe. I cringe. Because I want to know what world, what dimension he's living in when he comes here and he says, agriculture is my number one emphasis. What planet is he on?
I mean, even if you scrutinize the budget further, you see a project there that normally deals with pest control. One of the biggest issues farmers are facing is monkeys and pests in general.
Yeah, I see that.
So where is the investment in that?
So you cut too?
Well, if everything cut overall, so
33% he said, you know.
Okay, pest
from
program
33 to 21.
1 point. Okay, so they expected to spend it was 275 last year. Now they expect to spend like 175. So that cut too.
Yeah.
Right? So everything cut. And so you would hear Drew talking about agriculture being a pillar of sustainable island state, but your actions don't reflect that reality. How are you cutting the budget for agriculture? How are you emphasizing pepper? I mean, to change the name, I don't know if they get too much heat, that's why they change the name, but nobody's scared. Everybody could read and see the number is the same still, so it's the same project. So these realities are what farmers are facing. And people are talking about the government doing everything. But we cannot compete with government. You just can't compete with government. They are subsidized to the highest level. We cannot compete with government. You tell me 500 workers and the average farmer scrabbling for even 1 or 2 step workers? So how is that having the best interest of farmers and agriculture at the forefront? That's why you when you hear them speaking, you just like Quinn said, you cringe, guy like when Trump, you see the video and they want to tell a lie. Like you could actually see what's happening. Why you want to tell me something different? I don't understand.
But Mr. Flanders, the thing is that we got to be our brother's keepers.
True.
These people are enabled by persons out there who will back them with their nonsense. And most of those persons, they are not farmers. They are not the one in the kitchen. They're not feeling the heat. When the farmers come here, I will come here. I don't have to filter my voice. My name is Troy Flanders. I'm from Sadler's Village. I'm a farmer. That's how I pay my bills, by farming. I don't have to hide behind anything. There's a situation that happening right now that affecting every single farmer in St. Kitts and Nevis. And then you find that these people out there trying to hush it down and hide it, but they are not farmers. They are not being their brother's keeper. If the shoe were on the other foot, they don't want somebody to speak for them.
Yeah.
But they are trying to hush it down. There's a certain caller that called into this program very often, and he always identify himself as somebody who do landscaping. But he knows everything that is going on in agriculture according to him. But he ain't know the truth of thing. Even though if you know it, he ain't gonna say it. There are tractors up there in the Department of Agriculture parked because they have no operators. 2 out of 3 operators was sent on retirement. So the tractors are parked. Could you imagine that the drivers drive those tractors through the carnival? They make sure that they have the drivers for carnival. As soon as the last noise stop, the band stop, the tractors park. Then remember that those tractors were paid for by taxpayers, by farmers like myself and others, to cultivate the land for the farm. So when the music stop, the tractors park.
And this again brings me to the point where I always have to go back to the Prime Minister. I mean, I've said recently, it's not that we don't love our Prime Minister. We want to see tell me who wants to see their Prime Minister fail. Even if you're a Labour person, I mean a PAM person, you don't want, because if he fails, the country fails.
Yes.
You understand? So it's not that we want to see him fail. But here's where my point. Mr. Prime Minister, the individual who you have over agriculture, he seems to be better formed, for if you follow his history in music and culture and that kind of stuff. We don't have a problem with that. Give the portfolio of agriculture to someone who loves agriculture, not just in it for themselves, but who loves agriculture and has a passion for it that will push it forward for the whole country.
Can you imagine that one of the busiest times for farmers economically is Easter? But the tractors are parked from since December, which means that crops like sweet potato, edos, carrots, it will be almost impossible now for you to get them in for Easter.
Yeah. Hello, caller.
Hello. Otep. Joy.
Yes, sir.
This is what your man is saying. Your man is saying that farmers, something got to be wrong with brain. for us to continue in this industry. Now listen to me good. When a man go work Monday, Friday, he expect he pay. Mountain, he expect he pay. Farmers put in 3 months, only sweat and money. At the end of it, we are looking over our shoulders. We can't sleep because now the crop mature and ready for harvest. Between monkey and pig and people, farmers counting to see if they could make $1 out of probably a $10,000 investment. Something is wrong with that. Any administration with any interest in agriculture, first, you must address infrastructure. You must address, you mentioned the pest. In St. Kitts, the biggest obstruction to food production is monkey and pigs. Nothing is being done to address that. Many farmers work in vain, cry tears and then start again. If the people in the industry did not have that built-in thing in them, love for agriculture and the interest in producing food to feed the people, nobody would invest in this business. I will not personally encourage a youngster to go into agriculture because I personally feel the pain. To tell people just go and plant, that ain't it. When a man don't work, it must be some kind of guarantee of getting pay. Not in agriculture. Everybody got a story about how much you put in. But like I say, when the minister and the prime minister talk about agriculture, go Newton ground. And when you see the government portion to increase food production, because that's the purpose of shade house them, only growing grass, is a message to the people. There is actually no interest in agriculture. The minister, indulge me a second, the minister of tourism says 30 million a she portion is only for promotion. In agriculture, you have no equipment. Actually, it's a waste of time and money. Unless the people get rid of these people and put we own people in place, people who care, people with interest. Agriculture in St. Kitts, gone in. Bless.
Thank you,
Me
Carlo.
if I could have a good day. But continue living.
Thank you.
That's a lot to think That's a lot to think about for real, because if you realize that, like I said, last year the budget was 14 million, and you can't see a difference if you invest 14 million on the surface. If you're in a private sector, on the surface, that wasn't fired. That's the CEO fired. If you can't show a return of 14 million with something substantial, you get fired. And you could see now, I don't think they have faith in the minister. That's why they cut the budget now to say, well, you had so much and you ain't do nothing. So, cut it.
And that's the way it works, because when I was in the ministry, when I was a civil servant in ZIZ, our biggest fear was that we don't use up the money that we were budgeted. Because we know if we don't use it up, they're going to say, oh, well, you don't need that amount. You're going to get cut next year.
Yeah, because if you read the 2024 audit report, they say agriculture only spend 50% of their money.
Yeah.
Like,
What is that?
About 50% of the money they spend.
50%?
And the money they allocated to them in the audit report in 2024.
And we was left without seeds and chemical.
You understand?
Yeah.
Plastic mulch.
All these projects are going nowhere.
Hello, caller.
Good morning, Quint. Good morning.
Good day.
Good morning.
It's really a sad state of affair when you listen to the last speaker
Yeah.
concerning agriculture. Quint, you have lived here most of your life, I think all of it, I would say.
Most all of
And
it.
you're aware that we have had Central Marketing Corporation,
Yeah.
SIMACO. And SIMACO was put in place to market agricultural produce. We sell food to the Virgin Islands, Antigua,
St.
Atola,
Martin.
St. Martin, and so on, that cannot grow practically anything. And we have great soil that can produce. We have people with the ability that know how to produce, but the one who produce don't normally be the one who organize marketing and sales, because he's supposed to concentrate and produce, and somebody else concentrate on marketing and sales and so on. Like, for instance, the China produce. America is the supermarket that sells everything and get them sell. But for some reason or another, the farmers cannot get their produce sell. And they have lots of spoilage and so on. And for so many years now, they promised that Central Marketing Corporation would have been reopened, and it was sold. That should not have been sold. And it's still in the same position. There is no marketing system. And it's very difficult to see farmers downtown selling produce. That really shouldn't be. That should be somebody else's thing. The farmer should concentrate on production.
Yeah.
And when they concentrate on
a farmer cannot be producing and marketing. He cannot work.
at the same time, he can't work.
No.
He can't work. He don't work that way, and he can't work. And so therefore, they're fighting on a double-edged sword. And so there are things that are, there's so much things that farmers are supposed to have what you call an income every day, because people eat every day.
Yeah.
And the produce that the farmer produce are healthy food. We go in the supermarket and we pick up some garbage. As a matter of fact, when you pick up bread off the shelf, you should even wash the plastic. Because everybody come and grab any plastic to feel the bread to see if it's in there soft. But at the same time, the potatoes and so on that you take and wash, you eat. You don't have any bad mineral in the sweet potatoes and so on that the farmers produce. Our health is with the farmers. And if they stay away from the pesticide and so on, but at the same time, we fail to consume because we cannot get them to consume. And so I say all of that to say this. It's about time that the farmers get together and initiate their own game plan and kind of forget the government. Because some reason or another, they're either not willing, they're either not able, or they're not capable. But it's not working. Like somebody say, in our work. Gentlemen, lady,
could it
have
be
a
the all of the above?
Yeah. We only have about 5 more minutes. We're going to have to done abruptly because we have another program right after.
Okay, no problem. All right, so let me just figure back over what he said just now. And it's always nice to say that farmers should do this, should do that, and forget the government. But that's not the reality we're living in.
That's not the
That's
reality.
not the reality we're living in.
Government still need to give them the leeway to do it.
Yes. They need to but they need to facilitate,
that's
as
what I
opposed to
mean
get
when I say
directly
this, yeah.
involved into this whole thing.
Give
Like
them-
I said, build the scaffolding and let the farmers do the rest.
Yeah.
If you put a revolving fund in place, that same 5 million, so some farmers can buy the inputs, buy this, buy that, get themselves up and ready.
But quickly, as we got 5 minutes, government had 3 tractor drivers, and they always have a backlog in land preparation. The 3 tractor drivers.
Yeah.
You reduce the number to 1. From the 19th of December up until last week, the end of last week, no tractor service. So you got less driver, all these days. So what's going to happen to your backlog?
Yeah.
How are we going forward?
Can't.
So the reality is, to those out there who are not the brother's keeper, there are 2 tractor drivers who were made retired, no replacement for them. So the tractors are parked in the department yard. No use to the farming community. And quickly, Mr. Flanders, maybe you have to go too far. There was a Capistay farm in St. Paul's area, run by the government.
How did that turn out?
So we know that that project over Cairn will end up the same. There was a farm at King Collins, also run by the government. There was a farm at Bayfords, also run by the government.
Yeah.
So the government, there are examples there.
Yeah, and you all who have been farmers are still farmers.
Yes, and to by this administration that you know there are evidence there to show that the road you're going, I am not going to call failure on it, but it will fail because it has proved already that it's a failing effort.
All right, just in conclusion, wrapping up, let me just say that this morning was very sobering, especially when this farmer here spoke, and especially from the numbers we're seeing from the budget, very sobering. And so I want to say that we have tried it your way for 3 years, the government, and it has failed. Maybe it's time, maybe this time, you bring in the consortium, bring in the farmers, have a real discussion, real dialogue. Let us see if we can actually work towards a better future and stop with the lot of gaslighting and saying how things go. It is not.
Yeah.
The reality is on the ground says a different story. So work with us. We are here. We are not looking no war with nobody. We just want to say, okay, like I went to a coaching course and I said, let the players do what they want. When they fail, they might follow you now. You have failed, listen to us now. Let's see if we can work together.
Okay, and that's how we're going to end things on
Thank you very much.
Farmers Report for today.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.